Hello, welcome on board. This is the field conference, and this is the part second of the bonus lecture. There was about the module third. So I'm hoping that you already covered the previous part. There was part first, where we talked about the CSO, Chief Strategy Officer. So there is already done by you. So this is the next part of the bonus lecture. There is a part second, CBO, Chief Business Officer. We'll talk about this some more. So let's get started this lecture, and you'll learn a lot. I hope you guys are ready to learn. CBO, Chief Business Officer. This role focus on the growth and the revenue partnership in company. When it comes to the business growth and the revenue partnership, then these things or key responsibility decided by the CBO, Chief Business Officer. There are some more responsibility that also is done by the CBO. Also, what are these responsibilities? Business partnership. When it required to scale your startup or business, with whom you should partner in your company. So partnership, your business should be partnership with the other business that also would be decided by the CBO itself. So when it comes to the market expansion, that should be also a bit of contribution from the CBO side. Which market like next you are gonna to target for the few months or year. So revenue model, what is your revenue model that is need to be changed? Anything that CBO play a better role or a crucial role in that segment also. Strategical deals, whenever company have to find any of deal, then CBO would be the responsible, direct responsible for that. In agriculture case, that can be the example like CBO. What kind of key roles that should be done by the CBO is that if your venture is dealing in the sorry for if your venture is dealing with the pesticide, then you guys want to rapid increase or disrupt your market, then you guys can collaborate with the seed companies, agri input manufacturers, food processing companies, export firm. That all the things would be decided by the CBO of company. So these are the things that is crucial for the CBO, and the role of CBO or key responsibility that is done by the CBO in your company or venture or startup. The CBO inside that the company becomes as a commercial successfully. So this is the most important. CBO ensure that company become the commercial successful. Let's move to the next part. Next role for our venture startup. So next executive role that we have announced like is that Chief Growth Officer CGO. That simply we call. Uh, so what is the key responsibility that is done by CTO in our startup? So first we'll understand how growth is dependent from the sale. So there's a huge difference between the sale. Sale does not mean company growth. So what growth mean actually is scaling of company. Rapid scale is a company growth mean. So what is scaling mean? Scaling profitability, scaling the number of consumer. That simply define it. The key responsibility that is done by the CGO or Chief Growth Officer is that customer acquisition strategy. What is the customer acquisition? To bring on board a customer from uh, to bring a customer on board to use our service or product or to make it interested in it. So there is the customer acquisition strategy. Okay, user growth. What is meaning by that? What kind of value your product is creating for the people that you are improving it? That should be done by the CGO, Chief Growth Officer. So that work is also done by that person. Data-driven expansion. Usually company work on the data, not on the guesswork. So that should be done by the data-driven expansion, according to CGO also. So growth experiments and or like you run the pilot project for the initial phase of launching any product or your service, then that can be the startup may be the very old, but your company may be the very old, but you are launching some new products or for your venture or startup, then there would be the growth experiment, like it will help or not. So that growth experiment or new market target. So these kind of small things that so also is the part of the work of CTO also. So in agriculture startup, what can be the done in what kind of work that can be done by the CTO? So it include like how company or startup may target 1,000 to 1 lakh farmer in this 6 month, or the CGO design the system like digital to onboarding farming, like how you can digitalize the farmer, village farmers, so they can use your technology. If your product is a technology or service, then that work should be done by the CGO itself. Village network expansion, like you wanna increase in number of villages, like before in when initial phase of launching your service, there was the target village around the 14, and now you are expanding from the 100 or 500 village in the in the next stage of the targeting. So these kind of work should be done to chief growth officers. Referral program, the CGO chief growth officer will go is scale the startup in any manner. So there is things that is done by the CGO. I hope you understand this. The next role that we have on our board is the Chief Financial Officer, CFO. It is a very crucial and backbone of any startup that you can simply call. The CEO of all responsibility include the financial planning, budgeting allocation, financial planning, what would be the full financial distribution for the full year for the IHEAD, and the budgeting allocation, like how much money should be invested in this sector, like logistics, supply chain, or any of tasks that is going on in the company. They would all are decided by the CFO. So fundraising support, it's maybe the required, like when a company may be at any point of time, company may need more cash or more money to run for further. So then fundraising work that you would require to raise fund from company to scale it on a broader level, then that should be decided. That should be decided or informed by the CFO itself. Investor reporting, or whom they can report, whom they can pitch for that, whom they can onboard on their startup for the next fundraising. So there is also is some of the part is done by the CFO. Cash flow management, how much cash that we have, how much cash is going in production, and also there all the things is for operation that is done by the CFO. Startup failed often because of the cash flow problem. Yeah, because it's quite tough to manage the how much case in the company or case out in the company. Out case is going outside the company in a product or service in any form. So these all things that happen, or so that is all decided by the CFO and the management of all the things. So in agriculture startup, the CFO manages the input and inventory cost and the logistic expenses, the credit cycle with the farmers, and the CFO ensure. CFO ensure what? The company does not run out of the money, because we guys do have, you know, uh, recharge case in the company account, because there may be any point of time you required more cash. If your company will run out the cash, then it would be the very tough to run the company for 1 or 2 months. So it all the things that is very crucial in terms of the money that is decided by the CFO. So he's the very amazing people on board that you guys have to to scale your venture on a broader level. So I hope you understand. So the next executive role that we have on our board is the CEO, COO, Chief Operating Officer. So it is also one pillar of company that we can consider. CEO manage the day-to-day work or execution of the company. If the founder create the vision, the CEO ensure that the things actually happens on the ground. So key responsibility is done by the CEO, is that supply chain management, operational execution, field operation and logistics system, and other things that is required in to operate day-to-day company task. So in example, in case of agriculture, that you can take, you can think in like in you can in case of the agriculture, you guys can think like this. If your startup deliver the fertilizer to the farmer, so CEO manage the warehouse, transportation and delivery network, and the village coordination, and the CEO mainly focus on the uh, operational efficiency of the company. I hope you get it. So the next executive role that we have on our board is the CEO, COO, Chief Operating Officer. So it is also one pillar of company that we can consider. CEO manage the day-to-day work or execution of the company. If the founder create the vision, the CEO ensure that the things actually happens on the ground. So key responsibility is done by the CEO, is that supply chain management, operational execution, field operation and logistics system, and other things that is required in to operate day-to-day company task. So in example, in case of agriculture, that you can take, you can think in like in you can in case of the agriculture, you guys can think like this. If your startup deliver the fertilizer to the farmer, so CEO manage the warehouse, transportation and delivery network, and the village coordination. And the CEO mainly focus on the uh, operational efficiency of the company. I hope you get it. Role we have on board is that CMO, Chief Marketing Officer. So there is also very important one. So CMO handles the brand and the market communication. So this is the link between the on-farm and the company. So what kind of the key responsibility that is done by the CMO is the market campaign that is done by CMO itself for spreading the awareness regarding your product or service. What kind of things that your startup is gonna to deal. So they all is the thing that is done that is done by CMO in your day-to-day task or day-to-day work life of your company or startup. So, customer communication, brand positioning in the market, how it's look like, how it's appearing inside the competitive market, and customer communication that uh, to make aware them about your service and product that come under the customer communication. Also, like what kind of problem they are facing and how your product can solve their problem. There is also part of the market. Getting to tell them regarding with the communication and sorry for getting my voice is low just because of continuously speaking. So it consumes a lots of energy. But nevertheless, market awareness is also part of marketing officer. Market awareness is also part of marketing. So, an example in agriculture, what can be the CMO the task that can be done by this person is that might run the campaign like soil health awareness. If your startup is working, your product or startup or service is based on the soil, then he can run the soil health awareness and sustainable farming programs and farming training workshops. So all the things it's done by CMO and making sure by not done by it ensure there is all things are running in the uh, right way. So all the things are just ensured by that it's the CMO. And in case of so next role we have is the CSO, Chief Sales Officer. Sales is the revenue that we all know that responsibility is handled by the CSO is that sales strategy, sales teams, dealer network, distribution channel. So when we go for the any of company that we all know that we have student or we have a batchmate from our class or our college that are working as a field officer that all are the part of the sales team. So what kind of role and there is the ensure by this CSO is that sales strategies, sales teams, dealer network, and the distribution channel. An agriculture sales channel could include agriculture retailer, field officers, farmer meetings, and money network. So the CSO ensure the product actually reaches to the farmer and generate the revenue. So this whole kind of the full work is done by the CSO. My earphone battery is getting low, so I do have to wrap up the lecture here. I hope you guys are enjoying this a lot, and we'll talk the next role. There are the few roles are still left, so we'll talk these few more role regarding this company in the next part of the video. Of There would be the part third of the bonus lecture of module third. So thank you to listen till the end. So thank you so much. Let me, I'll talk to you in the